Hey everybody, welcome to the dumpster. I was held here against my will.
No,
And
you
this is
weren't.
Jason.
She wanted to be here, okay?
Jason broke into my house. You know,
But
see right
yes,
here.
this is such a mess. I
And
could
well,
just.
today, I also again I'm being held against my will as this man asks me topics, and I will concur.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how to continue. I can just cut it together so it doesn't sound as jank as it is.
You just gotta jump into it.
Editor, go ahead and cut.
Editor, hey editor, can you do this?
Editor, Gaussian blur Serene.
Okay, content warning, right? I have been placed next to the person, the only person that I basically tell you guys that can make me
I,
curse on
I,
stream. No one. I freaking have a stutter.
I. No. It's okay. It's okay. You have a stutter. I can't even speak. We got this.
We should have called this V speech impediment.
V speech. Okay, today we're gonna be talking about let's see, what's our headline topic? Around October 30th, it was widely reported that Nintendo had one of its patents rejected by the Japan Patent Office. This patent revolved around the act of throwing items at a character. This comes after some similar patents
That
in.
captures a character.
Oh my god. Yes. And these patents were approved like in the US like earlier in September this year. Those patents circled around the mechanic in which players can summon a sub character which will fight when told to do so if it appears near an enemy. And another patent covers mechanics for mounting and riding objects while Jason is stinky son of a bitch. I hate you. So
You're actually right. You
basically
could have stopped.
so basically Nintendo's just up to their regular Nintendo stuff. And like I have one of the discussion questions should
No, actually,
in-game.
there's an update to the story.
What is the update? Wait, what?
Well, the update is that the Japanese patent office did reject this patent, stating it was too broad, which caused the U.S. patent office to also reinvestigate the patent.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a really good development. Nice.
It is. I saw this development this morning, which I couldn't add to here because I was busy in the morning.
Bro, you could just type it out. Ah,
I can't open my phone. I'm doing stuff. Or I can't. It takes 10 minutes for me to boot up my computer with everything it opens.
my god. So one of the questions that I wanted to make was should in-game actions be patentable? And if so, why? Like, should you be able to only be the only company slash person to make an in-game action in a game? How do you feel?
It depends on how innovative the actual thing is, right? Because if you actually get something that's not as broad and you invent something and you want to keep it for yourself a little bit because it helps with sales, it does help with sales. If it was like a temporary patent, because patents do expire, it would be, conducive to a good business to do that. But for innovation, it becomes a lot more innovative. People start trying to make things, replicate things as soon as they can when the patents are unexpired. So in a business
Oh, that's
aspect,
fair.
you have kind of a motivation to patent it, but at the same time, innovation thrives on being able to work on stuff. I mean, look at the early Disney stuff. 90% like public access fairy tales, and that's how they got the shred up.
Oh, that's true. Hmm. So your opinion is that some should, if they're like innovative?
I'm saying that
What would you even
it helps a lot.
consider in
I would consider
innovative?
that basically hmm,
Could you think of something that you could patent right now that's an in-game action?
I mean, to be fair though, one thing that they say is things that whatever you think thought of has already been done. So it's sometimes it's kind
Pretty
of hard
much.
to innovate new things. But back in the ye old days, there was a lot of things like if you look at IGN stuff that didn't age well. There's actually a game I forgot what it was that actually was criticized. I don't know if it was IGN, but I know that one game reviewer actually criticized the actual movement speed or like the way that the gun and like the gun styles was actually like the shooter freaking controls. Uh, but if you actually look into his complaint, the actual controls for the shooter at the time was literally what we use nowadays. It was innovative from like using the D-pad to using the joystick and using the other one to move it around. You know,
Oh, I getcha. I
so
just feel
like
like some in like at least for me, I don't feel like they should be able to patent because it's kind like patenting actions kind of feels like patenting like let's say if you patent a dance or something or you copyright a dance.
yeah,
That
no,
just
I get
sounds
it. I'm
like
saying we shouldn't, but at the same time, I get why they do it because business could be good, and it also prevents like people from making knockoffs really fast.
oh, that makes sense. I mean, to be fair, that were back in ye olden days, like we used to have to wait for video games to like load up. And I don't remember what publisher is or like what game company, but somebody patented the ability to play mini games during loading screens. So one company could do it, but
Namco.
yeah. And so they could do it and they barely ever did. And I think their patent has expired recently or is about to expire. But like now it's basically pointless because we're in the age of everything being on an SSD and loading like really quickly, like seconds.
That has not stopped things at all because there's actually a patent for there's like two patents actually. One for an interactive ad where you need to say the name of the company or like look engaged with the ad for it to skip or go faster. And another one to actually like watch ads while the game loads between matches.
So you have to say the name of the ad for it to go away? That's so
Yeah.
that is so dystopian. Oh my god. But speaking of like having to say the names to get like stuff to happen, have you heard of this new game called Yap Yap?
I'm not. I'm not very into a lot of news. What I hear when I research is just kind of a mismatch of small things.
Ah, basically it's like a new repo-esque game, but you don't find stuff and like try to take it to like a thing to get collected. You destroy stuff. And the whole mechanic, the like core mechanics of the game isn't strictly the like breaking stuff with other stuff. It's the fact that you're mages and to cast spells, you have to say the spells' names. So basically having a microphone is required to play that game.
What's the question about that?
That we should play it sometime.
Damn.
This is just a tangent, okay?
It's just all the angles. There's always two sides to something. That's one thing I
Mm-hmm.
like to research.
But my money. I want to hoard all the patents. I want to be a patent troll. Let me be. Let me have all the
But
patents.
it's like it's also not fair to also look at games that are similar because they're able to, have similar aspects and similar goals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like Repo and Lethal Company.
Yeah. They're
Like they're similar.
basically
People might think that they're ripoffs of each other or something, and it's not fair because game development takes a long time. All right.
kind of like how people say that Roblox is a Minecraft ripoff, even though Roblox predates Minecraft.
Oh yeah, that could be a whole different topic. Hydrox, it's discontinued. It's a discontinued cookie company that came out first and had like the cookies and design on top, and then Oreo took that idea and became more popular.
Oh, I did not hear about that, but I did hear about the fact that like Wish has basically fallen off because Temu basically did the same stuff of them as them, and now Wish is basically like borderline bankrupt, if not bankrupt already.
It all depends on the innovation that you do to continue it.
Mm-hmm.
I am not really. I don't really look into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's cringe.
I like being
Speaking of
anime girl on
cringe,
the internet.
YouTube's integrating more new policies. That is the worst transition ever. This was reported by Yahoo, Dexerto, and some other sources. YouTube, fuck's sake. YouTube recently made an announcement regarding gambling and graphic violence in games. These changes are mainly like starting November 17th, they're going to ban videos that direct viewers to online gambling sites, and that's a quote. And it's expanding to additional items that have monetary value, including digital goods. For example, video game skins, cosmetics, NFTs, basically like all the Counter Strike stuff, all the like TF2 stuff. And in addition, like casino like game content with no monetary value will now be age restricted. So like if you have a mod for like Repo Casino or Lethal Company Casino, that's gonna get you age restricted, buddy. Uh quote, video game content featuring realistic human characters that focuses on scenes of torture or scenes of mass violence against Jason non-combatants. Son of a
You need to start
will now
skimming before you read.
will now be also age restricted. Oh my god. And it leads us to our first question, which is, do social gambling games serve as a step towards actual gambling? Like, does playing Lethal Company Casino lead to you going to a real casino and actually putting your real money away?
Okay, is this I have a feeling that this isn't really like aimed more towards the adult audience and more towards those who aren't meant to be playing these games and watch them, or maybe somebody on they watch a streamer they like on Kick.
But think of the children.
I'm thinking that. So one thing I honestly don't like, and I have been saying this a lot. I come from a time way back in the day when the internet was more open access, right? And I will fight this to the end of my days. It is not the internet, the governments, or anybody's responsibility except for the parents to actually look at what your kids are doing, because it ends up backfiring on everyone and everything gets restricted to the point where there's little to no freedom on the internet. All right. That
I
being said,
mean,
gambling is not something that is good for people. All right. I've been to casinos. I've seen like the hypnosis that goes on in there. It's odd, but that's with any addiction. That's not just gambling. All right.
but there's so much money in gambling. Think of all the kids we can drag into playing gotcha games. Think of all the money we could make.
That's the incentive for businesses to let it stay on there and let it happen, all right? But at the end of the day, it is your like not yours. I don't know any parents are gonna watch this. It is the parents' responsibility to watch what their kids are doing. It is not something for you to drop on the kids like a tablet in their hand and get mad when they explore too much, because kids are curious. They are very
Yes,
curious creatures. All right.
definitely.
I watch things that I wasn't supposed to because I was curious.
Yeah, two
All
girls,
right.
one cup.
Bro, what the frick? No. Okay. I watch Salad Fingers and stuff. And then I would talk to my parents and they would be concerned a little bit, right? And they kind of push me to some other things, all right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right? It is your responsibility to be a safe place for kids to ask you questions if they see something online. It is your responsibility to see what they're doing online, all right?
I feel like we kind
I
of need like media literacy classes to like educate the youth into not being just degenerate people on the internet. Because we were talking about this earlier in DMs. All the Gen Alpha kids, they're in middle school. They're about to be in high school. Some of them are in high school. Some of them are going to have jobs soon. We're going to have to work with those people now. Like in the not so distant future, we are so screwed because they were not taught media literacy. That's literally the generation of iPad kids that would just look at everything. And
like
YouTube
kids
Kids is such a horrendous place, honestly.
like nowadays people can look at what they want and only what they want. They can get stuck
Mm-hmm.
in a loop, and people just assume that because you're looking at technology you know what technology does and what the aspect of it is and what's true and false. No, you can sit and watch the same videos for the rest of your life if you wanted to, and YouTube's not going to stop you. The
Mm-hmm.
internet's not going to stop you because they want your eyes, they want you to see. It is up to you, right, parents? Right? It is up to you. You teach them. If you want to show them educational content, you have to put that in front of them. A lot of the times, like I have my nephew, he's addicted to his tablet. He loves to play. He loves to play with kids. He loves to explore. He loves science, but he wants to do it with people. He wants attention. He doesn't know what to do. So you put it in front of him, tell him what to do, and he'll put it all over it. He'll love science experiments, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all like pushing, right? Because of course, like kids love it. Kids will
I
love it.
mean,
Kids will
to
love
be
all this stuff.
fair, there is a part of that that's just the like previous generation not wanting to deal with the kids and just finding it easier to go to work and just leave them with an iPad rather than staying at home and being decent parents.
And I know that this is like you think this isn't like what it connects, but it
Hashtag
connects
blame the boomers.
because you know how many times I have heard does blank cause a step towards blank? It started with video games. It started with videos. It started with the internet. It started with everything.
Back
Everyone
with
always
GTA
says
3.
it started with even with GTA 5 when I was a kid. Hey, does GTA 5 cause violence in youngsters? All right. At some point, it's easier to put blame on something if it gets popular.
Yeah.
But you also need to know the age ratings are there for a reason. You do not put something this like mature in front of a child and then blame the company that's for adults that it's something mature.
But what measures do the companies what measures do you think the companies should take to make sure kids don't get access to the things? Because you can just buy a copy of GTA 5 at like a
Yes.
GameStop.
And the yeah, and I know that the companies aren't supposed to stop you from buying it too, especially with the parent. Like they'll stop a kid if they buy it alone, but if a parent wants to buy it for them, which they usually end up doing, they just warn them, and that's basically all it is. And that
Mm.
is sucky, right? How easy it is to do this. That's again, that is the parent's responsibility. I've heard so many stories of parents buying this game because the kid sees it online. They don't do research on it. They just buy it. They don't care about the warning, and they just take it home, and they're still upset.
Yep, pretty much. And also
It all ends up with the parents.
I was thinking about it like as I was talking about the topic, directs viewers to online gambling sites, what's it called, casino game like content with no monetary value. Does that include all gacha games basically?
It might actually. There's some gotcha games that are a little worse than others.
Because like technically all gacha games have their like polls and stuff, and that's technically a casino because you never know what you're gonna get. You might get a really good character, you might not. And I
That's
feel
why
like
CS:GO is actually restricted too because of that.
yeah, but like CS2 has its own market that crashed recently.
But I know that like there is some responsibility on the companies. Like Uma Musume does like restrict how many. Like if they know that you're young, they don't let you buy as many carrots as like adults do for a reason. But
Ah,
that's because it's a game that's also geared towards basically everyone, teens and a little younger.
but what is that limit on carrots for children? Actually, I
You
don't
can
think
only
kids should.
get up to 800, I think.
I don't think kids should be buying that stuff. Period, though.
Roblox and Robux make it a little harder.
Ah, don't even talk about
It's
yeah,
kind of
this
important for some
if this is
things. It
gonna
helps.
hit casino game like content, it's just gonna be like Roblox as an entirety. Because Roblox has like its own market too, just like CS:GO. Oh, this is gonna cover every single game. And speaking of games, do you think this is coming in anticipation of GTA 6?
No, it's most likely going to be coming in because of all the the new laws that are coming up in the EU and the US.
Serene just became Serene.
No, frick you. I just cleared my throat. My voice, I'm using my actual voice either way, but it fluctuates. I'm a normal person, frick you.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, whatever you say. Because like GTA 6 is probably gonna have everything GTA 5 has, and GTA 5 has like literally everything that's listed here. Like it's probably gonna have in-game cosmetics. Probably. It might even have a market if they get like kind of spicy with it. It definitely has realistic human characters that focus on scenes of torture or scenes of mass violence.
I mean, do you know what GTA is? It's Grand Theft Auto. It's a crime. The whole point
Yeah.
of the game is to be a criminal. Not as bad as Postal, but you can be a criminal. There's no reason to censor the fact that crime happens and it's very bad.
Mm, jeez. What's it called? But do you think these type of games should even okay, that's kind of a bad question. How do I phrase this better? What type of ratings should these games get, like GTA style games? where
GTA
like the
mutes a
entire
lot of its violence, which is why it has a mature rating instead of an adults only rating. The rating system is there for a reason. Is it flawed? Yes,
it
but there are
is.
certain thresholds to actually get those ratings. And if it's mature, it means that it's able to be sold on shelves instead of the adults only, which can only be sold like in certain places.
GTA 6 Deluxe Edition available only at your favorite adult store.
No, not those places.
Oh my god.
It's again, it's very flawed, but they're there for a reason, right? And it's not something you should really ignore. And it's probably going to be a mature rating game again, and that's because they don't go overboard with certain things,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, and it has one of our talking points to talk about the CS:GO crash. Did you see all that happen? Do you have any idea what that was? Were you even aware of it?
I was aware of it. I don't know too much about it, and
So
I need to get more.
basically, they added some new stuff. Even I didn't look too much into it, but basically they were reworking how you got higher level skins so you could use cheaper skins to buy them more to exchange in a bundle and get better skins upper the line. And basically it caused all the lower tiered items to increase in value and all the higher valued items to decrease in value. There was even this one case of somebody that sold a skin for like a couple thousand and it went down to a couple hundred after the crash. So that dude got lucky. He got money. He got paid out. And like a ton of people were looking at their CS:GO gambling sites, looking at their items, refreshing the page, and suddenly their money would just go like in half or less. How do you feel about like having item economies where the players can just buy it between them and it not being like a gotcha game where you can just buy the outfits every so often?
When it comes to scarcity, it's kind of a complex issue because, of course, you'll want scarcity for certain
Yeah, you
items,
don't
but
want
sometimes
scaredy,
these things,
especially with cats. That's really bad.
yeah. Um, all right. So basically, you don't want scarcity with certain items. You don't. But you do want scarcity of certain items so people can actually play. You want incentives for people to play. You
Mm-hmm.
don't want them to just like drop in like people are really upset in Umusame because they miss certain events, but that's the point of the events.
Yeah, I was trying to play Uma Musume with like a JP account, and they don't give nearly as many free points as the like EN version, like the global one. Like with global, I got like 20,000 carats from the gift thing. On JP with the new account, I got like four. So I got 310 pulls.
It's because it's because they increased them recently because people complained.
Yeah, and I kind of understand because they're trying to rush it out, like rush the translations over so that they can get like everything up to date with the JP version. But still, that's a ton of free stuff. And I feel like I talked with this with somebody else, but I feel like them giving so much away for free is going to cause problems down the line because people are going to expect all that free stuff. And I think that's going to lead to people dropping the game because they can't get their dopamine hits from their gacha, from their 10 pulls. They can't get the funny women.
I mean,
They,
you get 100 free 10 pools right now. I mean, it's because it's incentivizing people who stayed early, right? Because there was literally only one scenario for the longest time. You gotta. It's
ah,
kind of like when the Nintendo rolled out the ambassador program for the 3DS. You have to incentivize staying in and doing this while it's more expensive or while it's new, while there's less content. For sticking it out, here you go. For
yeah, I
everyone
wonder
else,
why
here's a fun
Serene would
game.
know about the ambassador program.
Yeah, I'm old. I have a 3DS with an ambassador program.
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought.
I bought it when my dad bought me my 3DS when it was 350 before they reduced it to 250, I believe it was.
Oh my god. Wait a minute. A
They believe
console?
that, yeah.
Back in my day, a gaming console from the current generation used to cost $350.
Yeah. So yeah, they thought that the 3DS would be good, so they rolled it out and there's 350. and then they didn't sell as much. So I think Iwata was the CEO at the time. He took a pay cut so that no one would lose their jobs and reduce the 3DS's cost while
Oh,
they
that's
rolled it out
pretty
again,
good.
and gave a bunch of free games for people who actually bought the 3DS at the more expensive price.
Does the ambassador program even matter anymore now with the systems being down?
No, it actually does a lot. I don't think you can you actually can get it back, I believe, if you missed it since the 3DS system is down. But it does count because you can keep your games. You have a bunch of free like Game Boy games, on your thing. It
Mm-hmm.
matters. It's just free games that are on there, which is why they're more expensive to get them with the ambassador program than without.
Oh, okay. I
But
needed more
on the
topics.
topic of the ecosystem when it comes to scarcity,
When it comes
when
to
you translate
Pokemon,
it,
on the
when you
topic of
translate it,
Pokemon,
no,
them
I didn't say
Pokemon cards
Pokemon.
be
Shh,
so
give me a second.
expensive though.
Yeah, you can translate that into the scarcity of freaking people buying a bunch of physical items. For now, the most recent topic is Pokemon cards and Hello Kitty Starbucks collections.
Hello Kitty, what?
There's a Starbucks Hello Kitty collab, and people are dying to get a teddy bear cup from it too, and they're bad.
I don't understand these Sanrio addicts. Like my woman really likes Sanrio, and like every fucking person, every
They're
goddamn
cute. That's it.
VTuber likes Sanrio for some fucking reason. I swear to God.
And I don't like them as much as my sister likes Hello Kitty and Karomi.
Yeah, but
I
that's
can't
because
get
you're
into them.
basically a feminine twink.
What did you just call me? I have never heard worse slander in my life, and I will destroy you.
It's true though.
I'm a tomboy. There's a difference.
What is the difference?
The difference is I'm not gonna destroy you if you call me one versus the other.
It's okay to be a feminine twink, okay?
I
Your
hate you. I
tomboy
hate you.
words cannot hurt me.
I hate you. I hate you so much. Anyway, I don't like it that much. The only actually no, two characters from Sanrio that I like a lot, but I don't care enough to buy the merch or anything, is Guretama and Gretsuko.
Agretsuko, what is that?
Gretsuko is a red panda that likes heavy metal, and she sings heavy metal after like a hard day's work to blow up steam.
Oh, nice.
Very nice, yes.
Yes. Speaking of nice, you know there's something that's not nice. YouTube pulling more fucking AI into the goddamn platform.
He says after saying I want to talk about the AI stuff.
This was reported by Tech Times, The Verge, and a couple other sources, Tech Media mainly. And this is more of a conversation, but like YouTube has been rolling out so many god dang AI features. Like I was listening to music the other day and I got an AI DJ on the music app. And now
Yeah,
there's
you were
like
so upset about that.
and now there's AI summaries under videos, AI video creation, AI face scanning. That's an interesting one that just came out. AI auto dubbing, which is kind of interesting for like less fortunate groups of people. And the most recently being like AI video upscaling. All these come at a time when the community is torn about AI because like AI isn't really AI at the moment. It's still like machine learning. It's just like brain because like when you get down to the like minute details about computers and like AIs, AIs have their parameters and the parameters can be about like specific things. And if you look at it very closely, parameters are just literally brain cells. So they're just neurons. So like what I wanted to talk about was kind of like how does all the AI on the platform affect the people that actually make stuff instead of just generating it with the sodas and the clouds of the world? And how do creators that like use it with their regular creation benefit from it, if at all?
Alright, well, I'm just saying that AI has flooded the why are you looking like that? AI has flooded the market, and everyone seems to want a piece of the pie because it seems to make so much money. But it's caused, like, hatred on both ends. For one, like, AI is not a bad thing. It's not,
Oh, that's
right?
a hot take.
It's really not.
I'm gonna clip that and send it
I'm
to
gonna explain
everybody.
myself.
I'm not
Frick
gonna
you.
I'm gonna clip it out of context and be like, AI is not
Alright.
bad for everybody.
Machine learning and AI go hand in hand. You need to learn, but it depends on what you use it for.
No,
Um,
as part of the VTubing community, anything with AI is bad. Use ChatGPT
it's
to the hole with you.
AI
Did you
used to be
did
such a
you
niche
ask did you ask the Google AI overview how to make a cake? We're banning you.
bro. We're banning frick you. No. That's not what I was talking about, okay? Give me a second, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I gotta step away for a second, close my door.
We're gonna have short intermissions. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Don't sing!
Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na.
I closed. Are you still doing that?
Ba-na-na. No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god. Okay. No, frick you. I
Okay.
gotta cut this down, by the way. I didn't stop recording when I left. So just in case you heard something, I'm gonna cut that out of the audio.
I didn't hear anything. But yeah, sure, fine, whatever. It'll only fuck up with like half of my audio stuff, but I could hear
God
that.
shit, I gotta do one more time.
And after all this time, Serene didn't stop being so goddamn stinky.
Nah, frick you. Stop saying crap behind my back.
We
I
talking
was saying goodbye to my
shit.
sister, damn it.
Oh, I can't make those type of jokes now. I have woman.
Yeah, frick you. Anyway, so um
Where
yeah,
even were
AI
we?
machine learning used to be such a niche topic for uses.
Mm-hmm.
It's not entirely bad. It's just as soon as the commercial market got it, it seemed to have exploded in the worst way. And it seems that companies want to put it in everything because it is the trendy thing to do, just like a lot of other trends. And it's also cheaper on their aspect if they feel like they can give like for them commercially, it could also be like, oh, we can help you make everything from scratch here. You don't even need to know how to. Okay, so basically, recently also Replit, which is like Google Docs but for coding, also implemented AI, and they had a slogan called "You don't even need to code to make your projects
Which is
or
kind of
get AI
funny because
code."
there's already tons of sources, like tons of resources that you could use to make stuff without coding.
But yeah, basically, you can code without coding. Yay! But
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like when it starts getting a little too overboard, that's the issue. I make a lot of clips. I don't have a lot of time to put a lot of like subtitles on things. I don't. So I use AI to listen to me on stream. I believe it's artificial intelligence to listen to me on stream and say what I'm saying. And when
Yeah.
I edit, I use AI to do the same thing, so I can edit together my subtitles for my shorts. That is very convenient.
Mm-hmm.
AI summary is kind of on the bridge. It really depends, like if you're able to turn it off or turn it on, because people shouldn't have to keep it on. That shouldn't be the default. If people want to turn it off, it's fine. For generative AI, that is completely unethical.
And the worst part is that, like, specifically with the AI summaries, they're just, as far as I could tell, there's like, it's either really hard to turn them off or you just can't turn them off. And apparently they work because most websites have been seeing like 80-90% reduction in traffic, which is kind of interesting because most of their traffic was already just AI scrapers scraping everything, anyways.
Yeah, scraping, that's what makes generative AI very unethical too, because what are
Mm-hmm.
you supposed to train your AI on? Of course, you can use common like Creative Commons or public domain work to scrape your AI on, but the public is not going to always want to go from those sources. They want to do things that are modern, and then you start getting into the fact that you need to
Ah,
steal people's
well,
things.
actually, not even that because, at least from I've heard from the like tech sphere, most of the AI scrapers nowadays are not that useful because they're gonna have AI mixed into the data, into their like data blob. So there's tons of companies that's whole. thing is that they scraped everything before AI generation, like image generation specifically, became super popular. And there are literally companies that whole thing is selling a massive amount, like a massive library of just images that they collected before it, and that's like a clean training pool. So basically, like when I see people on Twitter being like, do not use this for AI training, honestly, you're too late for the party. They're not gonna want it because it's gonna come out on Twitter, and you're gonna have like two artists actually making art, and you're just gonna have a list of like 15 AI art people. And a lot of people even get angry when you call AI art art at all.
It's like kind of both things too, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I have seen it's always a vocal minority when it comes to Twitter, but there are people who use AI to
Oh,
make
definitely.
this kind of stuff, but they start acting like they are very hardworking and that they deserve to be like praised for how much work they put into these prompts that they make art with, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then there's the people that trace AI art, which is getting like if you're a good artist, if you could just trace what the AI makes and you like already are a good one, you could just be so much faster and no one would ever tell because if you know what you're gotta look for, you could fix like six fingers, all the like weird anatomical glitches, and like if you were a good artist, it's just gonna make you even that much faster. And if you're a bad one, you're gonna be like, why would I even bother starting art when I could just generate most of it? And it'll be like 95% of the way there, and that's all I really need.
And that's also going towards writing as well. There's kind of a slippery slope when it comes to a lot of these things. Like for one, people are comparing this transition to, oh, well, people said the photograph was cheating. People said that the rotoscoping was cheating for animation. If you don't know,
Well,
rotoscoping is when you trace like an actual movement of a person and then draw over it.
mm-hmm. Well,
That
specifically
was
with the
seen as cheating.
camera, it technically did whatever. It's literally doing the same thing that AI is doing, but not in the like same fashion, because a like pictures ripped apart the you can have a whole career as an like a portrait artist, and nowadays that's just like that thing you can see at the corner of the fair. Like there used to be hundreds of people that whole career was drawing portraits because it predated the camera and that was a viable way of capturing people's likeness. But
Yes, but you
now,
also needed like actual skill. You couldn't just click a button and it would just do it for you. You needed to actually prime the powder, like
mm-hmm.
frame it the way you want, put it in the right place, make sure you had the right paper back there so it worked. It was a whole process. It wasn't just a simple click camera like we do now, which is like something that people desensitize to. It was a process.
And yeah, it all got simplified into click button and you get not as good of an image, but it was good enough.
And people like our artists still innovated. They still had work. They didn't just be innovated, right? So basically, people who couldn't afford to do a whole day of photographs, they went to get portraits still. If people
Mm-hmm.
wanted to make art for themselves, they could just do that. That was it, right? But
And I
it's
feel
not
like we've fallen into basically the complacency that we complain about the boomers. Like boomers don't want to change anything. And I feel like that's how people feel about AI. Like, yeah, AI is going to take some stuff, but if you just do stuff your way, you'll probably find some amount of success. Because, like, a lot of people are going to do AI, but that's still going to be like the art thing. You can do your own thing, and people will still commission artists because at some point, people want good quality art
and they want to have
instead of
control
good
over
enough.
it. It's easier to tell because I always like to mess with things too. So very scandalously, I did try out ChatGPT and I did try like something because I wanted to see it, and I'm not really impressed with either of them. I'm really not. But so basically my experience when it came to like commissioning an artist versus like using generative AI is, for one, I can tell an artist, "Hey, can you change this pose to lift the knee a little higher?" And they'll do it. It'll take a little time, but they'll do it. If I tell an AI to do it, it'll give me the same image until like 15 times where I tell it, "Hey, can you just do this whole thing again?" And it just ends up being bad.
And
It's
you
not,
just use more water than some countries.
yeah, it's not good, right? Of course, it's, oh well, I got to be hyper specific with prompts. It's it's all about convenience, all right? If you want, of course, if you want to do that, you can. I People will think less of you, yes, and it'll take a lot more work than just talking to somebody, because not every artist. Because I know in one argument I hear too, every artist is expensive. I shouldn't have to pay $10,000 for a commission. There are cheaper artists. You can look around. It depends on you to actually look around for them. I've had There's plenty of artists I've commissioned, like $20 for a very good colored image that I use for my profile picture. They're really good,
Yep.
right? It's all a matter of perspective, right? And it's not to be elitist, all right? Because now
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to talk to artists that think they're too good for you. It's the vocal minority talking about the vocal minority, and it's not very good to be in those like headspaces.
Yep. Because there's some artists that are like, yes, I will only do. I know my I know my stuff is half-assed, but I think it's worth more. You should give me way more money than like rates, the standard rates. And like honestly, I do use ChatGPT fairly often because sometimes I don't really need whatever it wants to spit out. I'm just like, hey, I made this thing. I need you to like correct my punctuation sometimes.
Or I use Grammarly for that. You're weird.
Yes. But like ChatGPT, I feel like it is good enough for like most of the stuff. Like it basically replaces Google for many, many people that just need to know like, hey, what's um explain to me the quadratic equation like I'm 12 or something.
It's The only reason that's even possible is literally just because Google is a shell of its former self. Have you used it recently? It is not the best. It's slightly fallen off. It's changed a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things. You can't even Okay, fun fact. This People were complaining about this a few years ago, how Google was putting sponsored links at the top, and a lot of the times they wouldn't check who would be buying those sponsored links, which means someone could pay for, maybe, let's just say an example, mm, I can't do anything
Certain
too niche.
gambling companies would pay
No,
a
no,
lot of
no. Just
money.
okay. Club Penguin. Let's say Club Penguin. Let's say someone made a clubpenguin.org or .net, something that wasn't the official Club Penguin website, and they paid for it to be sponsored. But the only thing you get is the homepage, everything else 404s, and you just click the phishing link.
Uh-huh.
And that was just the issue. All right, that they weren't checking it, and now on top of it, they are shoving inaccurate AI results into it that just skim off just like the more popular results, which may, you aren't checking if they're real or not, or if they're jokes, or if something happens,
It's
and
healthy
that's what
to
made it
eat up to two
silly.
rocks a day. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, like, some people would joke about like putting glue in cereal because of people putting glue in cereal for commercials, and now you have
Honestly,
Google saying it's good to put glue in it.
I feel like most of that stuff is so exaggerated because if you actually use like the chat GPTs and the stuffs, most of the time it is fairly good at giving like decent answers. Because sometimes there's just that one topic that you like try to Google but you just can't find anything about, or all the things are either sponsored or ads, and bloody hell, I just need to know what this is so I can move along with my day.
But that's why the convenience and the fact that the competitor isn't being their best right now, that's it's causing people to use it instead of Google,
Yeah, because like a
right?
couple years
But
ago, everybody was complaining about Google sucking and being like, we should probably move over to like Brave or DuckDuckGo or like Firefox if you're edgy. And people never did it because they were like, that's too much of a hassle. And everybody stayed on Chrome. And now that Chrome's getting dethroned, people are angry.
it's just like also a compliance of people too. But compliance isn't always good if someone tries to just over reliance and compliance. Those two things go hand in hand in causing some downfalls, right? There are people out there that are so like insistent and actually complacent on using ChatGPT for big things that they no longer know how to write for themselves. People can't write emails by themselves. Again, this is a mostly vocal minority. I know that everyone in the world is like this, but people who have complained about it said that they use it for everything. They use emails. They want to make it sound more professional. They don't know how to do it themselves. They
Yeah.
said ChatGPT do it, and they said earlier, students write essays with ChatGPT because it's easy. You throw it in there, you throw it into an anti AI scrambler so that teacher doesn't know, and you have learned nothing about the subject.
Yep. Like I was
And it keeps going.
contemplating using AI for like topic summary for this, but I was like, you know what? I don't really feel like it. So I just wrote it my way because I like how I write. Even if it
I can
took me
write
like
whatever
a
I
little
like,
bit
you know.
while.
I like writing things, right? I do, and
Yeah,
that's
she
one
wrote
reason that
that
I wrote.
fanfic where she's like a cat woman or something.
No,
The
shut the heck up.
self-insert.
I
Link
put
in the
one of the
description.
chapters. No, no link in the description.
Don't worry, I won't link the book. I'll link the audiobook though.
Oh, frick you, okay? So I wrote a book, and I wanted to test out if like what AI had was capable of, right? ChatGPT. So I put a chapter in there. I consented. I did. All right, one chapter. That's the big thing about this. Is I consented to have my stuff on there. I didn't. I wasn't. No, things weren't skimmed to put in there. You know. And
How
what it
dare
gave
they?
back to me, what it gave back to me was awful. And I asked it to write another chapter, and it kept giving me the same exact scenario and almost the same exact intro for everything. It couldn't think of anything new. And I'm like, wow, okay. And I had to like I looked every time I would do something, I would always look in there and it would always fail or miss certain details that were flat out look through. It's not the best intelligence AI. It isn't. And that's the issue. People are over reliant on it, and
Mm-hmm.
at some point they're not gonna be able to do anything for themselves, and that's how we get the Wally universe right there.
And it kind of goes back to the art and portrait thing and like cameras. Like it's not the best and you could do it better by hand, but it just comes down to convenience, yeah. As you said before a couple times.
Like, again, people thought Photoshop was cheating. They did. It was like, oh, but we wouldn't be able to like manually edit a photo in a dark room.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the skill it takes to learn it. But there's a difference in weight on what skill is. If you're making someone else do 90% of the work for you, aka a computer, are you actually learning a skill, or are you just giving up?
Yeah, and that's super scary because all the people that are about to go into like the high level positions, they're eventually gonna be people that literally use ChatGPT their entire way through school just because they didn't care and they just wanted the easy way out so that they could go party and hang out with their friends and stuff. It just makes me so pessimistic about the future because honestly, we're
You
so
can't
screwed.
be pessimistic about everything, though. There is a lot of good in the world, and there's a lot of good things that can come from it.
Like
But
Yuri.
you know, your
Innocent
Yuri is
little
good. Yuri is
creature.
nice. Preacher, damn. But it's good, right? It's good.
And
Like,
like AI has its uses for some stuff, but like just straight up, it will never actually replace, just like how cameras didn't replace portraits or art in general. AI will not replace just everything else.
but I'm saying that there is also an issue, especially with the most recent Coca-Cola commercials last year and this year's.
What?
So you know, last year there was an AI Coca-Cola commercial.
No? What was this?
Oh,
What?
okay. Fun fact. All right, cut so I can actually show you this. Basically, open happiness. So anyway, yeah. Okay? Now we can start again.
And roll that shit.
All right. So basically, there was a whole controversy with the 2024 Coke ad because they actually did recreate it this year again. Same thing, based on I think 90s or 80s Coca-Cola commercial. But basically, it's a big hot topic because people had
Hot
a backlash
Topic?
for last year's.
I
Yes,
like the
they
clothes
had
from
a
Hot
they.
Topic.
Nah, the clothes are kind of mid, but
What?
they're mid for the
Mm,
cost, dude. There's economics to it.
okay.
But
What do you
basically,
mean my team you looking ass outfits that are so expensive? Okay, go ahead.
because of the controversy, Coca-Cola did make an announcement actually, regarding um what people felt like. This isn't a quote. This is a paraphrasing of it. But they basically said they were going to keep using AI because they released the genie out of the bottle and they weren't going to put it back. And they bragged that they used less people for this year's AI commercial than last year's.
Oof. Okay, that is kind of rough. But I would like to point out the fact that they're doing the Mariah Carey because they 4 days ago was the last thing, even though it's AI. The Coca-Cola Christmas ads are already showing up. Beautiful.
Because they make their most money in Christmas. But it is a very sad thing because Coke was known for having very innovative commercials. They showed the artistry, even with the
I
like the
wouldn't
eat
go
sip
that far.
play,
Weren't they
the
like
eat
one of
sip
the
play
first
one.
people banned from having kids in their commercials because their product contained too much sugar and caffeine and stuff?
Yes, but that's a different topic in total. I'm talking about artistry and
Drugs.
commercial making.
Drugs
But
good.
the actual sugar
Kids do.
itself, yeah, it's not very good. There's actually fun fact. There's actually a PSA I can no longer find where there's it's like a Coca-Cola commercial where it's like I want to give the world a drink, but they use diabetic people to sing it to show the issues and like the dangers of drinking too much soda. I can't find that anymore on the internet. It's gone.
Oh no. I have a Pepsi bottle, a Pepsi can next to my Coca-Cola can. I'm looking at the back of both. Pepsi has 41 grams of sugar and Coke only has 39. Only 39 though.
Only 39. Okay, yeah, so
So
be
Pepsi has
safe.
more sugar. Let's go. I'm speedrunning this diabetes thing.
Oh my no.
Hell yeah, brother.
But yeah, it's just like people feel that like for one, a lot of companies, not just Coke, are purposely just using AI because they feel like they can, even if people stop buying their product, the money they make not spending on artists and the losses is better than just them just using making a better like another commercial. Because like Wallace and
I could
Gromit
see that.
recently made a commercial and it's really like charming and stuff. It's Wallace and Gromit, it's claymation.
Yeah. Nice.
But uh I mean, I my family doesn't drink Coke in anyway, so we've been boycotting it since forever. Just the soda branch, if you wanted to, if you looked actually too deep into what Pepsi, like what Coke actually owns, it's very hard to boycott them fully.
Coke owns everything. And even if you wanted to boycott specifically Coke or like the company that like runs everything, you're still supporting all the other companies that have done some shady stuff like what's it called? What's that really in everything food company? I think it starts with an N. Nestle?
Nabisco?
Nestle. Nestle has been linked to legitimate like murders and like so is Coca-Cola, but like they're both really shady companies even without the AI stuff. But the AI stuff just like it's a cherry on top of like what
But it's not
today we're
impossible to
going to
not just
boycott.
buy some of their products because that still does matter. If you stop buying a candy bar, they'll wonder why you're not buying a candy bar. The bad part is like it has to be a big enough scale for people to actually notice, you know?
It is a matter of time before they put AI in candy bars.
How do you
Literally,
do
it's not.
that?
Literally, it's not gonna have any AI in it. They're just gonna call it the AI candy bar. They're gonna call it the Candy AI bar. They're gonna
Oh,
be
what would be even
we
be AI about it?
we asked AI what the best flavor for a chocolate bar would be, and this is what it gave us.
It
So
told us dish soap.
yes, dish soap. If Johnny has,
No, no apples, no apples.
if Johnny has 2.3 times amount of dish soap, how much dish soap does Johnny have? I don't think that's
But
how it goes at all.
Bruh. But yeah, so there's like there's extremes on both ends. People who hate AI, people who are overly obsessed with it, and companies that are just going to use it because it's cheaper for now, and companies that
Yeah.
are not. It's all basically a plan of personal choice. It is not okay to blanketly hate every piece of AI because it's always existed. It's always been used. It was just under
Yeah.
a different name because people weren't really into the whole, actual name of it.
And people
Like
just wait
even
for the AI to be mentioned and then they get mad. They don't realize that literally your computer right now watching this video, hell, even your phone has this thing called speculative execution, which is basically just AI trying to
or
figure
spell
out
check.
what you're going to do now. What?
Spell check too. Spell check is AI. They look at words and they wonder what specific words you might be wanting to spell if you spell it really bad.
Yeah. So just turn, if you'd want to boycott AI, stop using your computers. Go back to a typewriter. Go use a fax machine, which probably has a processor in it.
But
Go
but
back to
yeah,
being,
basically,
go hang out with the Amish. I bet they're a great people bunch to hang out with.
I heard they're pretty chill.
Also, the thing that hurts me the most is like people on Twitter being like, "Ugh, I hate the Grok being in control of the AI stuff," when it's literally been algorithmic the entire time. And like Grok is literally just an algorithm. Grok is no different than like a word predictor. Like that's all these things are. They're just machine learning and they just chose to be word predictors.
But basically, it's can always be wrong, which is why you need to be smart when it comes to things. If you maybe if you post a picture of Garfield and the AI tells you it's a freaking picture of a woman, don't believe it. Use your eyes. Always double check.
I mean, did you make sure it's not a persona?
No, it's bruh. But yes, basically just always check, always double check, always don't be relying on things. Be I don't like saying
Moderate.
this because it always makes me feel like I'm being mean, but try to use common sense.
Common sense is such a rare thing nowadays. Common sense is
It
whatever, because like everybody has their own little definite. Everybody has their own little definition of common sense.
yeah, it's this new generation, isn't it?
These damn Gen Alphas. You know what the Gen next? What comes after Gen Alpha?
Beta.
Yeah. Can you imagine the moment those kids get old enough to vote?
That's why it's our responsibility to help the future generations.
Nah,
But at
let's
some
make them
point,
worse.
no, no, stop.
They're already iPad kids.
There's
Actually,
there's a thing with generations, all right? The whole point is the current generation is meant to felicitate the next generation, all right? And there is meant to be progress, but there's also meant to be a structure for these things too, all right?
I disagree with this. I can't even buy a fucking house. How am I gonna help the next generation? Honestly, anybody who's having a kid nowadays is just like, your Gen Beta is gonna have a rough time, bud.
That's a totally different issue on the
That's it.
if
We're
you want to get
talking
into
about the
it.
housing market now.
No, no, no.
Yes,
No, that
we
goes into
must
so many
talk.
things. No,
We
no,
must talk about the
no.
AI buying up all the houses so that they can put GPUs in them so that they can just live there.
And mind Bitcoin.
Yes. Not even, apparently Canada has like power issues, like they don't have that much power cuz they want green power. So they're limiting or like straight up finding people for mining Bitcoin.
Oh,
Spe-
actually, I think I can help you with this. Um, get nuclear power.
yes, finally.
All right. Damn, I hate the fact that there's such a smear campaign on nuclear power.
It's cuz in the 50s and 60s they saw what the micro suns do.
No, it's the difference. If you look into every single one of these, Chernobyl, and you look into those, right? Those projects failed for one big reason. They were kind of subsidized by the government, right? But when when things started when they started like lacking proper maintenance, that's what happens. It happened after not giving proper maintenance for like years, all right? It was
Yeah.
such decay. There's a difference, right? If
And
you have a
like
properly
honestly,
funded,
you could
yeah.
just like in the like early days of like mining towns, you could just do that. Have a town in the middle of nowhere with like a small residence, like a small group of people, and just have them be right next to like a giant nuclear reactor in the middle of nowhere so that even if it does collapse, it'll be in an area nobody was living in anyways. So
No,
like,
that's bad. Collapsing in general is not very good, but there should be some cautions for that because radiation is such a big thing. I'm
yeah.
just saying that, like,
Wait,
it's just
what if we put them underground? What if we just make them underground so that it never goes
no,
up?
you can't
No,
because you
go
need
chuck them in the
okay,
dust
every
bowl. Go
every
chuck. There's
okay,
nothing in
Jason,
Kansas.
Jason,
I
shh,
drove
give
over
me a
there.
second.
There is nothing that I could see a single tree 5 miles in the distance.
All right, so
Okay.
Jason, every power plant equals finding a new way to make steam from water. All right,
Yeah.
even nuclear power plants, you're just boiling water. That's where everything comes from. It's just boiling water. You can't put that underground. You need the steam
Yes,
to
you
escape,
can.
or it's going to be a lot of pressure.
Look, I know. Look, you go to a beach and I will find you 17 childs that will gladly dig you a big ass hole.
It's not about the hole, Jason. You need the cooling tower to cool the steam so the pressure doesn't affect. Okay, okay, all right. You just can't put it underground. All right, I'm not gonna get too deep into it. You just can't put it underground. All right, I'm just telling you. Okay,
But like if
but
all that's going to
basically,
be going up into the air is water, does it even matter that it's in the middle? Like you can still have it in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, you can put it in the middle of nowhere. I'm just saying, like, don't make a company town and don't like deforest too many things, right?
Serene town is going to be the town of you wouldn't have to deforest, just go throw it in like a desert and that'll be great.
But
Have it like
okay, but
100 miles away from literally any civilization and you're golden.
radiation can travel very easily. That's why the point is
No,
you
not
want
that
to plan
type.
for it to happen, right?
You're thinking about like nuclear explosions because like the debris from the nuclear thing, while it has a small half-life of like a week or two, it can travel far away. So that's when they were doing like the like, hey, if there's a nuclear bomb explosion nearby, stay underground for like 2 3 weeks and you'll be fine, because like the radiation will be gone by then mostly. But with like
But
nuclear reactors, or specifically like Chernobyl, their stuff is mainly contained to within a couple miles of the facility,
the
except
only
for
issues with it is
whenever
the
it touches
cost, though.
water. Oh, cost, yeah, definitely.
Cost it takes 10 years for a startup to even start making money when it comes to nuclear power. But then
Yeah.
afterwards, it's literally pennies on the dollar compared to how long it takes to run a coal mine or anything, even though it's cheaper to start it up, you know?
We put 100, we evacuate everybody in Kansas, we fill it up with
Bruh.
a
No.
hundred nuclear reactors, and then we power the country for cheap.
No, you need corn. Corn is a
No,
lot of our economy. Yes, you need
no,
corn.
leave that to the Texans. Look,
Everything
we don't
makes
need
freaking
corn.
corn.
We can just have the potatoes from
Dude,
the Ohio
everything is
people.
made out of corn. Our freaking fuel is made out of corn, Jason.
What
Yes, you
is
need
this?
corn to make ethanol.
I will raise you this ethanol-less gas.
Bruh,
The
no, just you need
AKA
that.
the like the higher octane gas that actually costs more.
Plus corn chips, grains, feed for cows use
You know what?
corn,
I say
high
we get
fructose
rid
corn
of corn
syrup.
chips. Let's solve. You know what? We're gonna solve power. We might as well solve like obesity in the country. You know what?
That's not with obesity. Corn is good for you, all right? It's just it uses there's a lot of uses for corn, all right? Like there's a lot of uses for oil.
No, because you use wheat and stuff to make bread, and bread makes people fat. Now we should take that away.
No. Okay, anyway, that's
Everybody is
wheat is a
only
totally
going to
different
eat
crop.
fish and whatever
Bruh,
you can
that's
find.
expensive as heck. No, we're not going to overfish our seas because Jason wants to get rid of corn and
Fish and
freaking meat, all
eggs.
right? No. All right, anyway, the startup costs and that. But basically, I also did a little research, aka I watched the salmonella video, and apparently
Same.
there's thorium, which is a lot less volatile than uranium.
Mm-hmm.
Which basically just boils down to it needs a startup to do it, what it needs to do. So if you take away the startup, it just kind of stops working,
Mm-hmm.
which is good for safety. So
So
there's been so much
so your
research
thing
into
about
safety.
radiation is literally pointless now
Yeah, I
because we
know. I'm
could
talking
just
about people who
use
would use.
Thor
I
from
don't know.
Ragnarok.
I don't know how much thorium it costs per pound versus uranium. There is still a possibility that companies would just use uranium because it's cheaper.
Oh, definitely. Until they run out.
Which
Speaking
means
of
there's
running
a
out,
risk posed.
we're about to run out of oil and natural gases in the next couple of years. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Which is why it's imperative to start working. Do you know how little like okay, so basically I'm going to get into something that I wrote a paper on in college. Green energy is fine, but at a big scale that it needs to be used at, it does more damage to the environment than it saves. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It does. It
I
does,
agree.
right? It causes overheating with solar panels, and it takes so much room to make solar panel farms. It deforests so many like desert ecosystems if you put it out there, because you need a lot of sun for solar power,
Yeah. And I feel
and that's
like
not very good.
I understand. Actually, you know what? I'm against nuclear power on the planet. You know what? They produce so much power, and power eventually turns into heat. And that's why we're melting the glaciers at the T. You know
We're not
what?
melting the glaciers with that. Oh my
That's
gosh.
it. I'm putting my fist down. We should put all the data centers in the world on the moon.
No, no, stop. But basically, nuclear power is very good. It has so much, it gives so much power, and the waste it produces is so easily put away and is very harmless. They triple like bag that stuff to make sure it's not harmful to
Hmm.
like it won't seep into like the groundwater or anything.
I love how my solution to the world problems is we're going to nuke the moon again,
Oh no.
but with
But
the good stuff
the
now.
power but like those people nowadays are actually running Germany, actually, I believe it is Germany or Canada. They have shut down some nuclear power plants in their country and are now facing an energy crisis
Yeah,
because they can not sustain the amount of
Germany, it's
energy nuclear power
literally
given.
illegal to have nuclear power.
It had a few of them and they were running. They shut them down and they were realizing nuclear power is really hard to kind of recreate with things that aren't as powerful.
And especially now that like all the nuclear reactors were made ages ago, and nowadays all those people have retired. So you'd need to like retrain an entire generation just to get that stuff back to working. And like there's
It would be
startups
so
here and
good.
there, but like nothing like government funded unlimited budget. Go make me a nuclear reactor so I can
It would be
give a
so
million
good
people.
to like literally market yourself. Have nuclear power, but with the expensiveness, market it as the most like elite energy, but have also oil because oil it makes a lot of stuff, and oil that's one of the biggest like competitors too, which is why one reason why like if you lobby enough with oil and gas, you're not gonna get nuclear power. Just market it as the cheaper fuel. Mark down a couple cents, people will flock to it, and you're gonna have at least like a guaranteed amount of time, right? Until nuclear comes up.
Yeah.
You can have a biggest opportunity with that.
And taking us back to the AI thing, you know what? Now that I was thinking about it, so much AI is in data centers. If AI suddenly becomes unbearable to run, they're going to shut it down and there's going to be a massive surplus of energy. So if the AI bubble were to pop, energy is going to get dirt cheap again.
AI is
Wouldn't
not
that
gonna
be
pop.
fun?
They're gonna keep putting it in certain things. They're just gonna use it a lot less.
Yeah, probably. But I mean,
But
like,
basically,
it'll
that's why
probably wipe
nuclear
out
power.
some lower people in the chain of the AIs.
Yeah, but it's just. Oh, also, I forgot to say this. Wind power kills a lot of birds. It is responsible for like thousands of bird deaths a year.
Nice.
Would be nice.
God damn it. Look, back when I was a little youngin', we used to make makeshift things and throw rocks at birds, okay? Probably
Okay,
not the
yeah, you're
best,
right.
but it was a time. It was either that or being on the computer all day.
I don't think it was between those choices. I feel like you could run around and play tag.
Yes. But that's a different conversation.
But yeah, okay. So basically, I am a staunch supporter of nuclear power. All right, I know it's a little controversial, especially with the great state of Texas being my
My
homeland.
beautiful Texas. Actually, no, I'm
Uh,
in Oklahoma. Fuck your Texas.
in Texas, right? It's very controversial. but I feel like it could benefit everyone. It could. And stifling that innovation is not a good thing because when everything's gone, the companies will move on, but the people are going to suffer. It's like when a small town loses a Walmart and every other store that was run out of business because of Walmart has to pick up the scraps.
Yeah, but now you have an opportunity for for like the American dream. Start your own thing.
I don't have the money for that, and I don't have the scientific process for that too, but I would volunteer to help.
We're starting VMart.
VMart, what the frick you mean? Oh, VMart. I thought you meant nuclear power plant. Never mind.
Okay, we have a mini nuclear reactor powering the VMart. How does that sound?
Okay.
Apparently,
I feel like
there's
Jason would just put a sign in the front being like nuclear power plant in the back, ask manager to see.
that would I could make money off of that. I could get people to be like, you look like you would love to see a nuclear reactor in action. Wouldn't you love to see it? It is insane. Trust me, you want to see it. It makes all the power in this entire building and then some. It powers your fridge, and it can do it for 1,000 years. I feel
Bruh.
like I could be a decent salesman. What were we
Fun
even
fact, my
talking
family has
about?
some.
What was we literally started on YouTube and we got here.
Yeah, it's the point of a podcast, Jason.
What are these? What do you mean we're supposed to be on topic?
No, no, it's a
You know
podcast
what?
talking about stuff and
I'm
tangents.
gonna go back to AI because, like, at first with the DJ on AI music, like YouTube music, I was kind of against it, but after like 2 3 hours, I like it. That's my hot take. Cause like I grew up listening to a Walkman and having like like a stereo, so I would just tune in to hear the music, and it felt kind of nostalgic. Cause all it did was like play the song, have like an intermission being like you just listened to blah blah blah, and then it would talk about the next song and it will give you a fun fact about it. And
Jason's
honestly, that was
nostalgic for
kind
the
of cool.
radio.
And this is what the topic that I wanted to discuss with you is that more ethical than payola, which is just like if you know anything about the music industry right now, it's that it's super corrupt in the inside, kind of. Not as much as it used to be, but somewhat there. I made
It was
Serene watch a
Hollywood.
video, and
Jason
like
made me watch a video. Gunpoint.
the old DJs were basically paid off by music companies to play specific music. So like back in the old days, there would be music that would only play for about 40 45 seconds, and then it would be like, you're listening to 97.6 VTuber FM, and then would change the song. And that's because they were getting paid to play it like that. And this is arguably less destructive because it's really taking away money from the big music companies that are already screwing us up on literally everything.
I
Freaking
mean, Spotify in
MGM.
general broke down a lot of the monopolies when it came to radio because people could listen to what they wanted.
Yeah. And like this is the perfect combination because like honestly, I went from hating it to being like, when is this gonna roll out so that we can get custom voices so that I can get a friend to voice it? Because that would be the end game. Just like licensing your, because like the thing people have don't like AI about is that it's taking stuff and not paying the creators. What if they actually got paid? What if you could license your voice and every so often YouTube would give you a check being like, hey, 50 to 100 people used your voice for the DJ thing. Would you take that paycheck if it was a decent bit of money?
I mean, with all parties consenting, yes, I would.
Yeah,
But
you're
also, it'd be really odd because who would listen to my voice for hours at a
I mean,
time?
you wouldn't have to listen to your own voice, but like other people could choose. They could be
No,
like given
yeah, I
samples
missed the
of
joke.
like types of voice. What is your joke? Fuck.
I stream for hours at a time.
So that's the training data. Sell
Who
the training data. Don't
would
let them steal
watch
it.
me stare at the camera?
You know? Okay, would you rather give them a 2 hour stream that you recorded just because you got like 50 views on YouTube and like 50 views on Twitch? Or would you rather sit in a booth for about 10 to 12 hours for a week to record every pickup song? Because, like, I listen to some old jazz and like crooner
That's not
music,
how they do it though. Do you not know how they made Miku?
how it's like Vocaloid.
Yeah, Vocaloid. Miku, the voice actress for Miku stayed in there and she recorded syllables and letters and they put it all together. That's how they
Yeah,
made
but
Miku.
that's kind
That's not
of
every
like,
word. You don't gotta say every word though. You just gotta say certain syllables.
but like what is the difference between saying syllables and saying like the big red dog jump over the lazy dog or something and just having them like work on that?
That's literally what they do though. That's it. You would just need to record that Vocaloid thing, that little script, and they would just make you say it. It wouldn't have to be like every single thing.
No,
You
but
could
this
just mold it to
it
their
does like it does a ton of songs from like the 70s, 80s, 90s. Would you like to have that script that's a couple thousand pages long and have to read it out? Or would you rather just give them a 2 hour stream and get a paycheck?
But the way you're saying it doesn't even make any sense because they don't use that stuff anymore. Like it doesn't matter how old something is. If they have you saying every word out there and they can manipulate it, it don't matter. They can get the data they want. They just make you say it. All right.
So you can
So
just, oh my god, this is, we're literally, I'm literally saying, would you do this? And you're basically saying it
yeah,
in
but
a different way,
it's
but
because
it's
it
the
doesn't make
same
any
way.
sense. It's not going to be hours. It's going to be literally like 10 minutes of reading that, and that's it. Or maybe fixing a couple things if I didn't picture it right. That's it. It's not going to take like 10,000 hours, a million freaking pages. It's going to be literally 30 minutes in a recording booth, and I'd rather do that.
But what's the
Get
difference
concise
between the
audio,
recording booth and just giving them one of your streams? Because they can, like, I've used like
more
11
precise
labs.
voice and everything because my freaking audio and my streams are jank and I'm not going to say everything that they need. So they're going to have to call me anyway.
I wouldn't be so sure about that if you haven't used 11 labs, I can tell. Basically, it's like an AI voice cloner, and I used it on myself, and holy shit, it like kind of nailed. It didn't nail the accent because it's obviously just like it's basically monotone but voice. But they don't actually need you to say like the 15 minute like 15-30 minutes of like every single word. They can just get you, like, I've gotten it to be really good with 1 minute of talking. So like they wouldn't even need that much of your like voice. They just need like a little bit. This is so off point. Basically, would you do it if you got paid for your data consentingly?
Yeah, consentingly. That's the major thing. It's consentingly. Anyone could put a Morgan Freeman movie into something and make Morgan Freeman AI. That's what's unethical about this. You're telling me, if I would be able to, like, they would have to ask me first. If they just did it behind my back and I got paid, no, that'd be horrible. Like, dude, why the frick you do that?
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. Like, would you license? That's my point. If you could license your voice out, honestly, I would ask friends to be like, "Hey, you should do this because I kind of wanted to know."
Like, I would do it. It would be
What?
consenting, right?
Yeah.
But it would have to have some kind of contract, and it would have to give me some liability to sue people if they wanted to make me say stuff that was
Well, like that's the
illegal.
thing. YouTube could control that, so it's not like just saying every single thing.
Like I that's the thing. I want to have like some sort of control to make sure I don't say stuff like very illegal thing here,
Oh, that's fair. Like that's fair, but
or like something that I would not say. Like jokes. Jokes are fine. If you say something like I wasn't gonna say like, oh,
it's a joke.
yeah, it's a joke, basically. But if it's like 18 plus stuff that I would never say, and you start sending it to me or putting it near me, that's gross. I don't want that near me.
That's fair.
Yeah, like I don't like that, and that's something most people will usually try to do when it comes to AI, like the explosions of deep fakes that ended up with,
It's interesting to seeing the whole deepfake debate, and meanwhile, it's not actually getting used for like actual like that many crimes. It's basically just being used to like troll people.
I'm talking about AI, not AI. I'm talking about 18 plus. I'm sorry. I don't know why I mix those two up.
Oh, you mean
18
like
plus stuff with
NSFW
deepfakes.
stuff? Yeah.
Yes, with people who didn't want that, you know?
Well, that technically would fall under like Vern to a certain degree.
Yeah, so I don't like that. That's the stuff I start going in. But if you have an entity, the good thing about an entity or a company is that they can fight on your behalf, and they're a heck of a lot stronger than you are when it comes to like legal stuff.
Yeah. If they choose to fight.
Yeah, if they choose to fight. But the whole point is that you signed a contract, and if you're not comfortable with it, one thing you can do is talk to them about it. And if it gets too bad, that if you can argue they broke the contract.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
And at that point, then it starts getting a big thing, you know? And of course, the damage is done with what people made with you, but you can get compensated.
Nice. Okay, so on the DJ thing, if they make it so that you can become a voiced thingy, would you do it? Would you let me use you as the voice?
I just said yes, license, as long as it's
Nice.
like an entity can protect, you
Nice.
know?
I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna be like, hey YouTube, can I have a specific thing on my account that says that, hey, I'm Stinky and you're listening to and
But it's all
it's just
about
your
consent.
voice.
That's it. That's all I care about is consent. Like a lot of voice actors don't like AI because people are making them say things, and companies can just make them say things in certain aspects. And like, why
True.
would you pay a voice actor? You know, that's the thing. That's what's horrible about it.
What if you paid voice? What if you had a program where like it's trained by voice actors consentingly and you pay by the word and the payments go to the voice actor so that you can choose to have the voice actor actually voice act, or if they choose they could just be like, I'll just use a thingy that'll sound like 90% me.
Yeah, like that's fine. That's the thing. The whole point is compensation. That's the point. People are trying to replace things. There's like AI influencers now, and there's AI like people like YouTubers and stuff. People are trying to replace. That's not it. That's the point. You're trying to steal if you're not compensating the person that you're taking from. That's just it. There's an old saying, right? And that's why people were like
The
we're very
product one.
cautious. Yeah. So basically, if a product is free, you are the product.
Yeah.
Your eyes are the product, and that's why it's not very ethical for certain things. But they can. You have you have the choice to leave. You do,
And this is why ad
or
block is
not use
piracy.
it. You have the choice to not use the product, right? Um, but don't be surprised if you use the product and they're going to do it because there's a lot of money in it. BlackBerry
Mm-hmm.
actually went out of business because they didn't do this, and the other companies were doing it, and they made a lot more money, and BlackBerry went out of business. There was a quote
Blackberry
very
met the
sadly from
levy.
the uh, there was like a sad like CEO comment. I don't know if it's BlackBerry or Nokia, but they said we did everything right, but we still lost. They didn't
Yep.
sell user data, but yeah, it's very sad.
Imagine. Imagine the business practice of privacy being not good for monies.
It sucks really bad. It does. But even then, like they'll, I mean, people make money when they do. Yahoo is a mess. If you lose your password, you have to call the helpline to have them reset your password, right?
We
But
love Yahoo.
it costs money to call the helpline.
What?
You have to pay $8 a month to call the support line for Yahoo.
Why do you have a Yahoo account?
I made it back in the day. It wasn't with me actually. My account's pretty okay. It's a friend of mine that
Jesus
needed to
Christ.
reset their account password, and they realized the only way they could do it is pay 8 bucks.
That is a big brain move on Yahoo's move, but also what the actual heck?
You can look it up too. That's true.
Oh, pain. Why is everything getting so bad? These goddamn things. Me wanting to have hope in the humanities. And then Nintendo releases the same game for the 17th time.
Bruh.
Would you like to
But
talk about Nintendo? Pokemon ZA? What are your
I have not played
thoughts?
it, so I wouldn't have anything else.
Ah, weren't you the person that said you can judge a game by its trailer on YouTube?
The whole point of a trailer is to help judge a game, But it also means a company shows what the best part of the game is. Some people will make cinematic trailers where they show a whole bunch of like a whole storyline because they want you to focus on the story more than the actual game. Um, and there's
Mm-hmm.
some people that will just show gameplay because they want to show you what the game actually looks like and what the story feels like.
Hell yeah.
Nintendo's trailers are the same as they've always been,
Yeah.
which means you can always gleam when they're repeating things, which makes you lose a little faith in them when they try making a new game, which is
You
why
know
you can
what?
judge things from trailers.
I feel like we should. Mm, I've been joking about this with like friend groups and stuff, but we should just stream on the Pokemon AZ category and just play Pal World. They'll never know.
They'll know, especially if you keep announcing it.
We're gonna get banned so fast. We're gonna get reported by everybody. Being like, why does this Pokemon look better than the other Pokemon streams? Why is there an Eevee looking thing, but it doesn't actually look like it looks like a shiny Eevee?
But
Why is
yeah,
there a giant buffalo made out of grass?
my favorite games are the Bioshock series, which they haven't had an entry in over 10 years. So,
Yeah, that's a big shock. But
and I loved Fossil Fighters. Fun fact: when I was playing Fossil Fighters on my stream, people were judging like the how it looked, and they're like, "Oh, it looks really cartoony and stuff," and everything only has like one animation. But if you look at the commercials for it, they were so cinematic. They were so cool. They had a lot of effort put in. And every dinosaur has its own animation. Granted, they recycle animations for a lot, but the way that they made them move, they were never idle. They moved, swayed, and they attacked. Even if it had the same animation, there was like life in every animation. Even like the final boss. It was to the point where someone in my chat was like, really, like, this 2009 game has more like animation movement for 3D models than Pokemon does,
that's kind of true though. That
because it
is
was such a
true.
limiting game.
Editor, start the singularity, please. We're at 1 hour 42. I'm gonna have to cut stuff. I'm gonna
When we
leave the
go back
polit.
in,
I'm gonna leave the politics in. I'm just kidding.
no, this is a battle.
I'm
This is
going
so
to
freaking.
I'm going to use 11 labs to train your voice on the thing so that you say the politics and you agree with the big orange man.
This is the battle system, by the way. You wanted to do this podcast, frick you.
I'm committed now. We've done episode 1. We have to do all 4.
All right, there you go. See,
And if we get lucky, this might pop off. And then we can use it to advertise our Twitches and get views and stuff and actually stop having 2 concurrent viewers.
no, we usually do 10 now. It's good. If it ends up popping off, we can split the money, and I can actually afford the internet without having to be a bitch.
Jesus. We need a link just for your internet.
100%.
Dox yourself again.
Why?
Actually, you didn't dox your. I found somebody else, one of my friends that had a. And I was like, let me dump $5 into this and see if it works, and it still works. People still getting doxed. I keep
I
accumulating
don't.
people's real names.
Blackmail people. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's literally the plan. I'm just kidding. I
Uh,
joke in a way that scares people because it would be like, I mean, I'm just gonna hold on to your personal information until you pop off, and then I'm gonna sell it for a lot of money.
bro.
Sell to the highest bidder. Cause it's like the whole,
$2.
it's the whole thing of like, I'm small, so I can be like, yeah, my real name's Ramon, and I live in Ardmore, and I could just be like that, and because I'm so small, nobody cares.
Kai ducks the crap out of you.
I know, I don't care. Actually, it's probably my past address is. I've moved a lot, and I'm
No,
gonna
not your
move.
address. Your name.
Oh, I don't care.
You have to start caring.
Eh. Man, somebody was DMing me being like, wait, your name's not Jason? I should just swap out my middle name for Jason. Ramon Jason. Mexican ass name, white ass name, Spanish names at the end. Okay, where were we? We got sidetracked
Uh,
looking at the dinosaurs. Oh yeah, Pokemon and like repetitiveness.
oh yeah. So basically, long story short, Jason's stinky. Jason doesn't know how to read, and we're probably gonna do this next week anyway. So look forward to that.
Goodbye. Say goodbye, motherfucker.
Bye.
Nice.